NASCAR Camping World Truck Series silly season dominoes continue to fall from drivers and crew chiefs as Raphael Lessard will be joining GMS in 2021, and Mike Hillman Jr. will be jumping from Kyle Busch Motorsports over to DGR-Crosley to crew chief for Hailie Deegan next season. What's going on, guys? It's Daniel, and welcome back to another video. We got a few NASCAR stories to discuss here in today's episode. Before I start the episode, though, just want to say, hope you guys had a really good Thanksgiving. I did not upload a video yesterday because it was Thanksgiving, so hope you guys had a really good Thanksgiving. Like I said, we got a few NASCAR stories to discuss in today's episode. Let's go ahead and just jump straight into it. The first thing I want to talk about is the unfortunate passing of Rowdy Harold. As unfortunately, him and his wife were killed in a car wreck on their honeymoon in Florida. My prayers and condolences go out to the family of Blakely and Rowdy Harold. For those who don't know, Rowdy Harold was I don't remember if he was a front or rear tire changer for Alex Bowman's pit crew at Hendrick Motorsports. He was also, though, a football player for the Alabama football team, one of the best football teams in college football history. So unfortunate news on Rowdy Harold. My prayers and condolences go out to the family of Rowdy Harold. And also, when Hendrick Motorsports does win, especially Alex Bowman, there's going to be a lot of celebration and that is going to be a very emotional win for sure when that happens. And now we're going to get on to the next story of this episode. We're going to talk about the NMPA Hall of Fame. For those who know, that is the National Motorsports Press Association, if I'm not mistaken. They have announced there are two people that will be going to National Motorsports Press Hall of Fame. It'll be Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Steve Kinser are going to be inducted into the National Motorsports Press Hall of Fame. Huge congratulations to both those individuals as they are going to be inducted. I think in 2022, since there's going to be no award ceremony in 2021, huge congratulations to both of them. Steve Kinser, arguably the greatest driver in World of Outlaws history. I know people arguably say Donnie's chances, but you got Steve Kinser as, I think, in my opinion, personally, the greatest World of Outlaws driver ever. And then you have Dale Earnhardt Jr., who, again, has carried NASCAR for a long time. I think they both have earned their spots into National Motorsports Press Association Hall of Fame. And huge congratulations to both of them on getting inducted into National Motorsports Press Association Hall of Fame. And now we're getting on to the next story, as Spencer Boyd is going to be driving and returning to Young's Motorsports in the 2021 season, driving the number 20 truck, Chevy, as a matter of fact, next season. I think Spencer Boyd is a really, really good truck series driver. He's had decent success at Young's Motorsports for the last couple years. I think he does have potential to win race at times, though his cars are not great. He's kind of like a blue-collar driver. He builds cars. You don't see a lot of drivers nowadays building their cars. Their cars are generally being built for them. Spencer Boyd does work on the trucks and the cars. He's an old-school blue-collar racer from St. Louis, by the way, which is around where I live. And I'm really happy that he's going to be returning next year. Again, I think he's had decent success in the past with this organization. He won in 2019 at Talladega, though that win was kind of controversial for him. I still think he is a very, very talented NASCAR Gander Outdoors Truck Series driver. And again, I think his goal next year for him is to try to finish top 20 in the NASCAR Truck Series points. I think he, like I said, has the potential to do that. But again, I know that those skills are kind of low for him, and that is set low. His expectations are. But you have to also remember that team is going to be up against a lot of really competitive teams, and the Truck Series field is going to be really, really competitive in the 2021 season. So realistically, a top 20 points is not a bad expectation to set for kind of a smaller team like them. And I think that Spencer Boyd does have the potential to do it. He will be, like I said, be returning full-time to that organization, and we'll have to see what happens with him in the 2021 NASCAR Gander Outdoors Truck Series season. And now we're getting on to the first of the two major stories of this episode. Mike Hillman Jr. is going to be moving from Kyle Busch Motorsports, and he will become the crew chief for Hailie Deegan at DGR-Crosley in 2021. I think this is a really, really good pickup for Hailie Deegan as a crew chief. For those who know, Mike Hillman Jr. has been a crew chief for a long time in the NASCAR Gander Outdoors Truck Series. He's won 2 championships, to my knowledge, in 2006 and 2010, and he was able this past year to win with Raphael Lessard in 2020 at Talladega, and he's been at Kyle Busch Motorsports for quite some time. He's had a lot of major success with Kyle Busch Motorsports in the past, so he's never won a championship with them. He has been able to win races with drivers like Raphael Lessard and among others, and has crew chief for a lot of top-tier drivers in the NASCAR Gander Outdoors Truck Series. Like I mentioned, he has won championships with Todd Bodine in 2006, 2010. He was over at Germain Racing. He's also crew chief for a lot of really awesome drivers in the NASCAR Gander Outdoors Truck Series. And I think that Hailie Deegan is going to be working with a really, really awesome crew chief next year in Mike Hillman Jr., I think that she's going to be able to learn a lot. I mean, we saw how impressive of a run she had for her first start. I think a lot of people expect her to run like 25th to 27th area, and she ended up finishing in the top 20 at times was close to running in the top 10 and ran top 20 a majority day. Yes, a wreck did happen where Hailie Deegan was able to improve her position, but still, she is working with a really good crew chief where she can learn, especially since there's going to be a lot of races next year in the Truck Series where there isn't going to be practice or qualifying, where she can learn in the NASCAR Gator's Truck Series from those practice and qualifying sessions. Again, you'll have a few probably from, like, of course, you're probably going to have some of those road course races. You're probably going to have practice and qualifying. And you're probably going to have other races like the Bristol Dirt Race. We're going to have practice qualifying and probably heat races as well. You can also probably help her have an opportunity to go out there and win at some of the tracks like the Bristol Dirt Race. Because, again, I think she realistically could win those two races at Bristol and Knoxville. I'm talking about the Bristol Dirt Race, not the regular Bristol race. So I think she could run pretty well over there. I think that his goal is to help her become a better driver and try to get her a top 20 in the points as well. The field is really, really strong next year in the NASCAR Gator's Truck Series, and she's going to be going up against a lot of really awesome drivers next season. And I think Mike Hillman Jr. will really help her, guide her through that. And I think this is a really good pickup for DGR-Crosley. And more noticeably, that is another crew chief leaving the Toyota stable, as he will be going from Toyota 4. I mean, both of the major crew chiefs at Kyle Busch Motorsports, Rowdy Harold and Mike Hillman Jr., have left the organization after 2020. Rowdy Harold, we know, is going to be jumping from the Truck Series to the Cup Series to be a crew chief for William Byron. So, like I mentioned, I think this is a really good pickup for Hailie Deegan, and I cannot wait to see what she will do with Mike Hillman Jr., and really happy to see what Mike Hillman can do and improve her in 2021. And now we're going to get on to the final story of today's episode. Raphael Lessard will be jumping from Kyle Busch Motorsports over to GMS Gallagher. I think it's Gallagher Motorsports, if I'm not mistaken. He'll be driving at least 12 Truck Series races for GMS in 2021. Now, it could end up possibly being a full-time season if he can get enough sponsorship for those additional 10 races, though. I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't run the full season, but there is potential that he could get enough sponsorship to run the full season in 2021. Raphael Lessard, in my honest opinion, I think has a lot of potential, and I think he is a very talented driver. And he did have a decent year at KBM, but also at the same time, kind of a disappointing year at Kyle Busch Motorsports. At Kyle Busch Motorsports, you're expected to contend for championships. We've seen a lot of drivers who have come from the Toyota pipeline who have been able to contend for NASCAR championships in the Truck Series. But he only has 7 top 10s, and if you really take away the win at Talladega, where he won a photo finish against Trevor Bayne, really isn't that impressive of a season, if we're going to be honest. But he is getting a second opportunity at GMS to really improve himself. I think ultimately Raphael Lessard's goal next year is to contend for wins in 2021. I think he needs to do better than what Chase Purdy did when he ran part-time. Again, like I said, there is a potential that he could run full-time in the 2021 NASCAR Gator's Truck Series season. But again, it's really hard to get sponsored at the moment, though. There have been people that have been trying at the moment to help Raphael Lessard, one of those being people trying to help Peak Auto work with Raphael Lessard, though we're not certain that is going to be the case at the moment. Again, I think Raphael Lessard does have the potential to do it, but next year is going to really be possibly his final full, really good opportunity he's going to get, because again, this is a really good opportunity for Raphael Lessard to learn. I think, like I said, he does have a lot of talent and a lot of capabilities to run well in the NASCAR Gator's Truck Series, but like I said, he didn't have the best season. That being said, though, as the season progressed in the NASCAR Truck Series last year, with there being no practice qualifying, I'll give him a little bit of slack as well, by the way, because he didn't have a lot of practice or qualifying to back himself up, become better. The second half of the year, especially at tracks like Daytona Road Course and Talladega, and especially the second half of the year, he started drastically improving and became a better driver. I mean, he had a really good shot of winning at Daytona Road Course, ended up finishing 4th there, and I think he is going to do really well on the road course tracks, that's for sure, when he does run. I expect him to run the road course races next year in this car, but if that isn't the case where Raphael Lessard cannot run the full season in the NASCAR Truck Series, there is a possibility you could see some drivers like Sam Mayer run a couple races next year to get a little bit of experience, because I think, in my opinion, Sam Mayer should be running a few races in the Truck Series this year, because, again, the next start, to my knowledge, for Sam Mayer is not until his first start in the Xfinity Series in the second half of the year. And if I'm Dale Earnhardt Jr., I should be suggesting to GMS, since technically the program does work with GMS, Junior Motorsports, GMS do work in the same driver's edge program over there in the Cup Series, in Xfinity Series, and Truck Series. I think they need to get Sam Mayer a few starts if Raphael cannot get full sponsorship. But if Raphael can get full sponsorship, I think his goal, he needs to win. I'm talking about Raphael Lessard, he needs to win races, because I think if he does that, he's going to attract a lot of sponsors, and he will have an opportunity to get a lot better top-tier equipment, and maybe in the future he will remain with the team if he does well in the NASCAR Truck Series. But yeah, Raphael Lessard will be going to GMS for at least 12 races in the 2021 season. So, anyway, that is going to be for today's NASCAR news video. I want to thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe to the channel notifications so you'll be notified when a video does go live on my channel. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Link description below for that. And comment your thoughts on today's video. What are your expectations for Raphael Lessard going to GMS? Do you think that he will run really well with this team or not? Let me know in the comments below. And how excited are you that Mike Hillman Jr. will be the crew chief for Hailie Deegan? Let me know in the comments below. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed today's video, and make sure you do like this video so YouTube can recommend more of these great videos out to you guys. If you do that, I appreciate it. Follow me on all my social medias below, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Anyway, like I said, I want to thank you guys for watching today's video, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care, everybody.